Aloha, crafters and creators. This is Aristotle, and we are back with another video. And today we are going to be building this sugarcane farm you see behind me. It can also be converted to be a bamboo farm. It gets over 1,500 sugarcane per hour. And if you convert it over bamboo, you get over 3,000 bamboo per hour. It's pretty awesome. It's super ugly. It is extremely server friendly, as it is almost entirely lag free. So come on with me, and I'll show you how we do this. All right, so this farm is 55 blocks by 24 blocks for a footprint, and you should see the materials on the page now. Just go ahead and pause the video and write these down if you want to build this thing. It's pretty cool. So once you got your area scouted out, what you're going to do is you're going to pop down a stone. You're going to count 2 block space and then a stone, and then a 2 block space and a stone, and a 2 block space and a stone, just like this until you have 8 stones. All right, and now that it looks like this, what we're going to do is add 49 blocks going away from us, and to each one of these, just like this. So we're just making each one of these 50 blocks long. Once you count out the first one, it's super simple. Okay, so looking at the farm now from the front, you should have 8 rows of 50 blocks each, building blocks of your choice. So we're going to start from the left, and what we're going to do is dig down 1, and we're going to put our redstone blocks. You can put redstone torches by going 2 down, putting the torch, and then placing a block here. But in this case, I'm going to be using redstone blocks. Now from these, count out a 9 gaps, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then dig down on what would be the 10th block. So there's, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then when we start counting all over, we're going to put down 2 more redstone blocks, just like this. And then add 9 more blocks, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then do the same all the way down. All right, this last one's only going to have an 8 block gap in between, and then you're just gonna pop these down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to skip over and then just match them up just like this all the way across. All right, so this is what you should have. All right, so it's time to do rails. So grab your regular rails and come out 1, 2, 3. That's out of the first one on the left here. And then on every redstone block, place a powered rail, and then just fill in between with regular rails and keep going up the side. I know you'll want to do you feel like you want to do this side. Don't. It's just going to mess it up and keep messing it up. And what you're going to do is just keep going just like this all the way up to the end. And then I'll show you what to do there. Okay, once we get to the end here of the first one, we're going to do regular rail, and then back to a powered rail, and then just follow it all the way right on back. Okay, now that we're back at the beginning, what we're going to do is place a regular rail here. We're going to pop in a redstone block just right there, and then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 powered rails, regular rail, and then we're going to start the process all over again with a powered rail and work our way down and then place rails on back just like we did before. All right, and as we are laying the last few rails down on what will be the right-hand side of the front, we're going to pop on that last powered rail. We're going to just put a block just like that. And so this is what you should have. So you're going to be placing dirt right over the rails for each of these railed sections, and you're going to bring it all the way to the back, just like I did on that first section there. All right, and that's what you should have at this point. Now, utilizing a temporary block, what you're going to do is place 2 blocks over the empty spaces in between and continue them all the way back for each one of these empty rows. And now what you have should look like this. Now on the sides here, you're going to want to do the same thing, but it's only going to be 1 wide. So you're going to put a temporary block and then place a block and then run it right on back all the way to the back. And make certain to get both sides just like this. And there's the update. Now what we have to do is cap off these little channels that we've got going here. So we're going to put 2 blocks at the end of the dirt and then 1 on each side because we're going to be filling those up with water. And again, just like that for each dirt section. 1, 2 at the ends of the dirt, and then cap it off so that the water won't spill out and mess up our tracks. Do it across the front and then zoom across to the back and do the same thing. And now that those channels are capped off, here comes the most tedious part of this farm, which is going to be filling those up with water. Now, it's very important that you fill them up all the way so that they're not running. Don't do this and then just keep going. What that will do is cause a ton of lag on your server because that water is constantly updating even though it's covered up. So what you want to do is fill it in all the way so that it's still water and not flowing anywhere, and your server administrator will love you. Okay, now that the water is all in, what we're going to do is we're going to start on the left here, and we're going to do a temporary block and then a glowstone block just like this. Then we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 regular building blocks and then another glowstone block just like that, covering up the water, and we're going to continue this pattern all the way down to the end. You definitely want to have this light in here and this light source. It's going to help everything grow depending on what you plant, but it's also going to keep this thing from becoming a mob farm as well. The last thing you're going to want after spending all this time to build this thing is a creeper to go off, blow this up, destroy the water, which is going to wash away all your rails and make you have to tear half the thing down just to fix it. Okay, on the last one, you're going to pop in just like this, and that's what you should have down the side. Now, the opposite side of this one, on the other side of the dirt, it's super easy. We don't have to put the glowstone, so just cap it over with your favorite building block. And then just alternate as you go down, just like this. Glowstone on one side, and just regular blocks over the other. All right, so this is what you should have, at least one wall with some glowstone in it for each dirt section as we go along. All right, so from the dirt side facing in, we're going to place our pistons on both sides of these little stone walls. Okay, now with all of those pistons in, we're going to come around behind the pistons and we're going to place observers. All right, if you haven't quit the game already, this is what you should have. Okay, note blocks go on the back of the pistons. Don't worry about tuning them. They won't be making a sound. And then on the back of the observers go your building blocks, any type that you desire. The configuration should look just like this. Complete that for the rest of the build. Okay, so we use note blocks instead of redstone on this level to reduce lag. See, when redstone is activated, it lights up, and it lights up for the whole string of it, so up to about 14 blocks. And those lighting updates cause a lot of strain on servers. So instead we use note blocks, which don't require more than a single block update. There is no lighting updates required for these as well. And because they will be capped off with stones on top of them, they won't make a sound. So we won't have a sound update either, but they will still fire the piston individually just when that particular sugarcane or bamboo grows up tall enough to trigger the observer, which again also saves lag on the server by not firing big sections of pistons all at the same time, causing a bunch of lag. Okay, and that's what everything should look like. You should definitely take the time now to test things, make certain they work out. So when you trigger each observer, you should only get one piston firing, not bulk of them. Of course, this doesn't work on bedrock, so if you're on bedrock, stop watching. All right, now would be a good time to plant the plant of your choice, whether it's sugarcane or bamboo. And in this case, I'm gonna do sugarcane. Okay, now that everybody is planted and in, you're going to use 6 blocks of glass across the front, and you're going to do the same across the back as well. And then use a temporary block here. and then run glass over the top of the entire row, just like this. You don't want any of that, of your plants escaping outside of the farm. All right, and that's what you should have. So it's time to move off to the collection system. Okay, so coming off of your tail end right over here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to skip one block here, and then we're going to go up one, and then use a temporary to go up two, and then go up one more, and then finally up a fourth, just like this. So we 1, 2, 3, 4 diagonally up, but just making certain to keep this space here, because what we're going to do is use powered rails to get up here. Now, once you have powered rails going up, place a redstone torch just underneath, and they should all be activated. Now extend this out one, and then what you're going to want to do is place a temporary block right in front of this space right here. And then we're going to be placing a temporary block up just like this. So this is what it should look like. You should have a gap. I'm sorry, you should have a block. And then you should have this gap right here. And that's where we're going to pop in a hopper pointed into this temporary block, just like this right there. It's at this point that you can break that block and get rid of it. Now on top of the hopper is going to go a powered rail. And then we're going to be using a standard rail right in between, just like this. Now coming down, we're going to create a system that looks like this. So it should look like 4 blocks. So we have our hopper here, and then it would almost look funny if we had a 5th block just like that. Just think like that, 5 on a dice, but cut out that corner just right there. And so what you're going to do is place a comparator facing, so it faces into the hopper just like this. Then on the back here of that block that the comparator is pointed into as well goes a redstone torch, which goes up and powers that guy. And then we pop a repeater into there, which should automatically charge up that powered rail right up on top. Now, just for fun, if we throw anything into there, it should immediately depower the rail, and we take it back out, and it should power it back on. And that's what we've got there. Now, from here, we can just pop our chests, and we can stagger them going down, is something I like to do. You know, you can do it anyway, and then use your remaining hoppers, just point it into just like that, and that should give you plenty of storage. Now grab your hopper minecart, pop it on the powered rail there, and watch it go on down the track. To complete a full cycle, it does take 1 minute and 50 seconds to go all the way to the end and then all the way back to the collection system. But that leaves us an extra 3 minutes of unloading time after 2 passes underneath all of the plants. The 2 block wide gaps are not big enough for spiders to spawn, so you don't have to worry about anything like that, nor can any other mob spawn underneath there. So no reason to have to go in and light those up at all. And there it goes, and nothing to drop off because everything's pretty newly planted and growing up. Sugarcane does take on average 18 minutes to grow up 1 block, so that means 36 minutes to get to the top. But with 400 plants here, we should actually get almost 2 full growths, which would give us at least 1,500 plants every hour. And let's leave this running for an hour, and we'll find out. All right, so 1 hour later, and let's go check it out. So let's see, we got 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 24 and a half stacks. So let's hit the trusty calculator. So we got 1,564 sugarcane in 1 hour. Not bad, not bad at all. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your support out here. I hope you enjoyed this farm. I hope you get a chance to build it in your world even. And remember, it works with sugarcane and it works with bamboo. Now, you can adjust it. You don't have to make it as deep or as fat as we did here, but that's okay. You know, you can do whatever you want to do. Now, if you do make it with bamboo and you want to make it even larger than this, like say 100 blocks back, well, you're going to want to rethink the Minecraft minecart situation, because your one single minecart will start to get overloaded once you get over about 450 bamboo plants. Now with sugarcane, it might be able to handle that just fine. On average, this thing picks up about a stack every trip through, maybe a little bit more on some things, so that works out great on sugarcane. But as you know, bamboo grows a lot faster. In fact, it only takes about 6 minutes on average per block to grow. So that's 12 minutes to get 2 full blocks and get harvested. So just keep that in mind. Game mechanics are everything, aren't they? So again, thank you for watching and thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. Have a good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Aloha! Sometimes I just like to wander around here and watch the sugarcane grow. Make certain to check out my tutorial playlist on my channel. We got a lot of cool farms up there that don't always get recognized by the YouTube algorithm, so they might not have shown up in your home pages. So have a look. Thank you and good night.